You drive for an app, chase a 5-star rating, or sweat out a 0-hour shift. We're told this instability is the byproduct of a new digital economy, that the algorithm is an impartial boss we simply must accept. There is nothing new about the algorithm. The mechanics of this system were documented, dissected, and broadcast on national television over 50 years ago. Jim Allen was a wire worker, a merchant sailor, and a coal miner in the north of England. His career in physical trade ended when his habit of organizing fellow workers got him blacklisted from every pit and site in the region. Left without a trade, he used the only tool the bosses couldn't take, a pen. He began writing television plays that decoded systemic exploitation from the perspective of the factory floor. Allen's work provides a clear view of the underlying mechanics of labor. By looking through his 1960s lens, the modern economic packaging falls away, revealing a persistent and recurring form of class warfare. In his 1967 play, The Lump, Allen exposed a system where construction workers were paid strictly cash in hand. This meant no union card, no sick pay, and no safety net. If a man fell off a scaffold, the gaffer paid the widow a pint and wiped the name off the ledger. This is the exact template for the gig economy. By labeling them an independent contractor, the employer shifts the risk onto the individual. The digital interface is just a veneer for an old scam. The company guarantees profit while the worker takes the fall. Exploitation also wears the badge of the state. In his 1978 broadcast, The Spongers, Allen showed a local council targeting a single mother and a disabled child to balance their books, justifying the cruelty as necessary efficiency. Whether it's a boss avoiding sick pay or a government cutting benefits, the violence is exactly the same. Human suffering is converted into accounting math to keep a balance sheet tidy. Allen's work contains a difficult lesson. The working class is frequently sold out by its own allies. In his 1971 script, The Rank and File, striking glass workers are betrayed by the union they've paid dues to for decades. The officials above them prioritize a comfortable status quo with management over the needs of the membership. He explored the extreme end of this internal corruption in 1987 with Perdition. The play examined how the machinery of oppression can compromise community leaders under unbearable pressure, forcing them into bargains that sacrifice their own people. This refusal to flinch from the truth had a price. The Royal Court Theatre canceled the production 36 hours before opening night, and Allen was targeted by a campaign of character assassination that effectively ended his mainstream career. He accepted the consequences because his priority was the truth. Democracy ends the moment the rank and file stop watching the officials at their own negotiating table. If bosses are exploitative and unions compromised, a single radical alternative remains. The people who do the work simply run the infrastructure themselves. In The Big Flame, Liverpool dockers escalate from a wage strike to a full occupation of the port. They seize the cranes, eliminate the shareholders, and manage the entire logistics chain themselves. Modern economic rules insist that worker ownership is impossible. Those rules were invented by the specific group of people who stand to lose their wealth if the workers realize they don't actually need a boss. The terminology of exploitation evolves every decade to sound modern and inevitable. But while the branding changes, the underlying systemic violence remains constant. The lump becomes the gig economy. The workhouse becomes welfare reform. These labels are updated so we don't recognize that we are fighting a very old fight. Without recognizing these historical parallels, we are doomed to lose to the same predictable tactics. We treat each new squeeze as a technological necessity rather than a deliberate choice. Jim Allen believed a worker has a duty to the complicated truth, even when it alienates allies or invites a blacklist. Engaging with these unvarnished truths makes the contemporary scam visible. It offers a way to recognize the patterns of the past in the conflicts of today, and to continue the work.